Okay, strangely enough, we're doing our end of day wrap up 2 hours before the session closes, because today is a Fed announcement coming up in about 12 minutes, and we're not going to hold into that. We never do. It's just like holding into earnings. It's a complete gamble. The market gets very whippy, so I've already closed out all my positions for the day, but thought we'd highlight a couple trades and why we took them. And I even have one from today that didn't work, but still I think a good chart lesson. Okay, so we have BYD. Remember that thing gapped up for us the other day. Let me zoom in here on the. Okay, gapped up this day, and we actually had a good intraday bounce on that one, made some good money, but then had a kind of a narrow day. Well, then I found it today. Didn't even have it on my list, but I found it forming this long sideways action. If you go out a few days, you can see this sideways action right here was kind of trailing below the high of the day, and you also had this as a possible catalyst. If it broke above this base, you had a possible break above the high of the day, which is another catalyst, which also then you had a possible break above the high of that big gap day. So you had three catalysts lined up. But because today's base was kind of up and down and up and down, we used one of our other tactics and switched to 30s. Let me zoom in on today now. And you had your lower tops, nice narrow one with kind of a doji right here. So once I found it right about here, we started looking for a break of the previous candle's high. And here, put in that doji. So we posted in the chat that if it breaks 1305, we're going to buy it with our stop at 1286. So very good, less than 20-cent risk reward there. And as you can see, we got it at 1305. And this thing over the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, ran all the way to just about 1396. I was selling all the way into it. Started with 1,500 shares. I don't know how much I made on it. Several $100s, though. Very good trade. That was one of our highlights for the day. And it's actually forming a nice base here for a possible secondary pop, but because of the Fed meeting, leaving it alone. UA, United Airlines, we had on watch again. Look how clean it was on the fives, and that's where we entered it. Lower tops, nice doji with some volume on it. The buy was 917 with our stop at 897. That's again 20 cents. You can see the stop never got hit, and this thing hit 1003 at one point. Excellent potential on your percentage-wise there. And I'll show you the one I told you I had one that didn't work. FDO, Family Dollar. Didn't do anything clean right here, but we switched to 15s. And we had our lower tops. And I discovered it right here. I said 24.46 above this high, which is right here, was the trigger, with our stop at 24.27. So still less than 20 cents, and we took it. Knew it had room if it broke above this on the daily. Well, you can see it started to go a little bit and then came down. Not only took out our stop right here, see right there is where it took out our stop, took out the low of the day, and then reversed and went all the way to 24.80. So that happens, and that's a good chart lesson right there. That's why you wait for the good risk-reward entries. You place your stop, and if it works, you sell into it, and if it stops you out, it stops you out. I didn't buy it again when it did this. I just said, well, you know what, it got me, and that's going to happen because trading is not a perfect science. We look for edges in our favor, and we play them. And what I lost here, I more than made up for right here in Boyd Gaming. AN was another great one today. We bought this on the break of the 5-minute high. Let's use fives. Right there you had 1085, sorry. 1085 again. We had identified it as a gap play, a potential break of the 5-minute high. I don't even know if it gapped, but we knew, yeah, it did. We knew we liked the chart above this, so 1086 was the entry with our stop right below here at 1066. Another 20 cent, less than 20 cent risk. 1086, it went all the way to 1172. Huge profit potential there today too. So you can see we had some great trades today. LKQX, we liked it on a high. Well, this was actually a bounce play, the high of the day break, 2034, which was right here. But we tried to call it above this base early. I think I called it because I figured if it broke this base, it should break the high of the day. But so we did call an initial kind of a higher risk trade. Now that I look at it, 2026 with our stop at 2015, something like that. I believe that's what we called it, and it never did the stop never got hit. It looks like. No, it never got hit. Well, yeah, it did right here. Sorry. Anyway, we ended up trading it again on the high of the day break and made a few pennies and then sold it because Fed was coming up. So just wanted to highlight some of the trades, why they worked, why they didn't, and again, we're going to make more of these in the future. The Fed's getting ready to announce, and we're going to go ahead and end the video and just kind of watch the craziness. There's BYD hitting new highs for the day. And we will continue with these daily wrap-ups, and we will see you on Wednesday morning.